Good afternoon. Back at the pouring station here. Well, I'm pouring a little beer in my stomach. But besides that, I'm gonna pour a couple little variations of these slug loads. I know y'all are about tired of seeing them on buck and slug reloaders, but this was the very first mold that I ever made. Well, second actually. This is a 2.0, and this is the cap with the sprue cutter on it. And it just basically lines up like so. Under there. This is the very first pour, so probably not going to look all that great. Again, there you go. Pulls right on out. And I didn't fill it all the way for this first one. See the rounded nose? I changed this mold permanently. I took a round nose grinding bit and I ground out the inside of it. Now it has a little rounded edge on it. But anyway, take off this nut here, push the socket on out, and there you go. Takes a little bit of dressing up, just a little bit of spillage here. But that one looks like we can just recycle that one here and make another one. All right, so we're just gonna just take a little time to put the mold back together, but for this style anyway, also gives it a little bit of time to cool down. The socket's not really that thick, so it heats up pretty quick. And sorry about the noise here, but I do have a fan blowing and cool down that mold when it gets too hot to handle, put it that way. Piece of lead stuck on there, I'm gonna put nothing. All right. Okay. Doesn't look too bad. Goes right on out. And it's got a little dimple on the end where I can drill for the screw for the tail wad. I did have a pin on the end of it, but after so many uses, the pin broke off. So I've got to remake this pin. That one will work. Already getting hot. That's just after two pours. So it's not as fast as the commercial type molds that you can buy. And these are basically the slugs that the shotgun scientist shot on their YouTube channel. Yeah, that's another one. So those are like the original style that I first made. And then the generation came up where I ended up having a pin for a hollow point. And this socket basically just slips on top of this. Okay. And this is crude, but it works. And it makes the flat end, and it kind of acts as a sprue cutter too. You just grab it, twist it, pops the screw off. And I don't know what happened to my channel locks. There they are. The trick to getting this pin out of this socket is, and I know some of these molds that have these pin molds, and people are having a hard time getting them out of the piece of lead. This one you just got to tap on it just a little bit. And for this one anyway, it comes right out. And to extract the slug, I've just got a 3/8 bolt. Put it in the end. Tap on it slightly. And there you go. There's a couple other variations to that slug. Instead of making it flat on the end, I can put this on here, and this end cap, I had to machine it down to fit onto this, but it fits on here too. So now I can make like a Foster type slug with a hole in it. There we go. These are the ones I sent the shotgun scientists that they shot, that tumbled. Because they shot them by themselves. They didn't have a tail wad on them. They had a hollow point, well, a Foster type end on it. Which I was really curious how they would shoot out of a rifle barrel, since they are nose heavy with this big nose on the end. But the weight's just not right on them, and again, like Tyler said, they need to be a little bit bigger. So I think maybe it's the alloy of lead that I'm using. I'm using range scrap. I don't have and I don't know actually what percentage of antimony and all of that stuff. Some lead shrinks more than others, from what I understand. Anyway, there is a couple other variations I can do to these things. The most successful ones so far have been the smaller slugs. Obviously you can see the smaller socket is just a little bit shorter than that deep well socket. Of course, all of this stuff has been on a lathe and machined down and cut down to fit whatever I was trying to make the different combinations of these things. I can make another pin mold, and there's endless, not endless, but there are just several variations I can make. I mean, right now I'm in the process of making a two-piece mold, which is a little more complicated because there's a lot of alignment issues that you have to be aware of when you're machining this thing, and making sure it's all lined up when you bore it out and you start making the whatever type of design you're making. It's got to be right. So I'm either going to make a pellet style mold, or maybe I'll make a different style that looks more like a bullet. But I haven't decided. The design is for a pellet mold, a full bore mold. Anyway, wow, been rambling along for 12 minutes. I think I'm gonna make some more of these sluggers, and maybe be able to go out to the range tomorrow. I just don't have a lot of good video equipment to make good videos. I have no idea how to edit videos, but I guess I better start learning if I'm going to make these videos. Anyway, you guys take care. Cheers. And be safe out there.